Oh my god, I could actually move from here, but I just feel like sun it's giving the vibe. And also it's my video, so I do whatever I want. Today I want to talk a bit about how to regulate your nervous system. But the first thing I want to tell you, and I want you to know, it's that you cannot start a house from the roof. You cannot just come and be like, hey, yeah, I want to regulate my nervous system. You need to understand what is going on. First, you should start by knowing which kind of attachment do you have. How was your childhood? From where do you socialize with people? How your relationships have been? Which traumas do you have? Which insecurities? For you to start knowing how to regulate yourself, you need to understand where all this is coming from. And also by regulating yourself, I don't mean that you should start like being unbothered for everything, for every action or every word. You're a human and you should still like care, have emotions. And with this example, I'm clearly talking about relationship with other people. What I want to tell you is that you shouldn't learn how to be unbothered in order to regulate your nervous system, but you should stop expecting things from people. A lot of times, for example, when it comes to anxious detachment, that I can master these, the 90% of the things that gives us anxiety, they are not even true. Like the 90% of our anxiety, it's from expecting and thinking and making like unreal scenarios and always like wanting to be like one step forward, basically from expectations that were not fulfilled. And by stopping to have like these expectations, you will give your body the freedom to start regulating his nervous system. I feel like as a woman, this is also harder because there is a small step between setting boundaries and having expectations. And don't get me wrong, by saying that you shouldn't have expectation, I don't mean that you shouldn't set boundaries. I don't mean that you shouldn't communicate what do you want or how do you want to be treated. This is not the point. This should be a must. You should know how to communicate. You should be able to know how to communicate your feelings and your needs. But you also should be able to receive a negative answer. You should say what you want, what you need, without expecting anyone to do it. You cannot go around expecting people to act the way you want or the way you would act. You should be able to communicate how do you want this person to be around you, but you cannot expect from them to do it. And you should be fine with this idea. Maybe they do what you want, maybe they don't do what you want, but you should be fine with their decision. And if they don't decide to act the way you want, then you should just value like, is this person worth it? Should I keep them in my life because maybe they give me such great things in other aspects, because maybe they really give me something valuable. Also, I'm gonna say, like, to stop expecting, you should stop scrolling. Like, social media is just a waste of time when it comes to show up like perfect lives. You only see like perfect couples, perfect families, perfect everything. It's not something realistic, you know. I feel like a lot of times we just set boundaries depending in which TikTok video we saw like last week. This is so unhealthy, you know. Sometimes the solution it's so easy, like maybe you just need to sit down, take a notebook and just write down, be honest with yourself, like, what do I want? What do I expect from this person? What do I want like from my friends? What do I expect from my family? Like, just be honest with yourself, you know, because okay, like, it's fine, maybe you saw a TikTok of a man, it's literally providing everything for a woman, but maybe like she cannot even speak, communicate with him. Or maybe you just saw like perfect family and at the end they all talk bad from each other, you know. Like, you should just stop scrolling, stop having expectations from things that are not real. Like, stop comparing things, you know, because maybe like this person, like this friendship for example, maybe you cannot like make a specific plan with them, but they are there when you need them, or when you need to talk they are there. Or maybe, I don't know, like, man, let's say he's still studying, you know, and but you really like this man because like he really like gives you attention and treats you well and everything. Yeah, like, on social media every girl like it's with a man that owns like 10 companies and he's a provider and he literally makes everything for her. Girls, be realistic. Stop setting boundaries based on social media. Basically, because you will always want more and more and more, and you will never be fulfilled. Just stop being influenced. Be honest with yourself, you know? Like, I know it's a tough thing to do, but you should respect yourself.